Yeah, getting back into the BTP, we will use the BTP account for our further part of training to develop applications using Business Application Studio, and also along with the Business Application Studio, and we will be experiencing how we develop things using the ABAP cloud instance. So we will be creating the cloud instance that it's on our BTP account ABAP as a service, and so that we will be developing whatever the learning we have been through till now, and we can implement or use all those knowledge to build our CDSUs on the cloud instance itself. And after building the application, we can straight away deploy that application back onto the BTP, and we can register as a tile using again BTP service itself. So there we will not be having access to look like gateway backend error logs and etc. We will not be having GUI access there. It's all going to be Eclipse access. And you have your Eclipse on your personal laptops and or also your company provided laptops if you are using Eclipse already, and you can try to use those Eclipse as part of this training learning. There will be no issue. Okay, so let me enter into the SAP BTP cockpit. And let's get in there. And those, if you still continue using this system login, you can come here and experience Launchpad Designer and all on-premise things here. So let me sign in. Yep. Okay. Okay. Let us go to trial home. And in this one, we will see. Let us see our sub account here. So this is what our sub account, and we have gone through all these things when we have multiple sub accounts and etc. Now we are getting into the trial account, trial sub account, and in the trial sub account we will see services and instances and subscriptions. So we have the subscriptions for Business Application Studio already. We are not going to create any separate instance for this Business Application Studio, but we are going to create an instance for ABAP. Let me create ABAP instance here. ABAP environment, and in the ABAP environment, let me create the instance. It will ask me to choose the space. I think we already have this development as a space on this particular sub account, and I'm going to name it as the instance name is Tara ABAP. We go ahead, and here it asks us the email address. So we can give our email address here. That is where it just goes ahead and creates the cloud ABAP instance for us. So let me go into my ABAP instance here. So if you see the ABAP instance is getting created right now for us. And meanwhile, we go into my trial overview and spaces here. Let me go into the development space. And I don't have any applications at the moment, my space. And again, we have the services here, services, the instances. And in the instances, I see my Tara ABAP instance have created. And now, if you click on this Tara ABAP link, and really, I don't know how SAP is able to provide all these infrastructure and the capabilities for us. And if you click on this one, there are applications. This is a specific dedicated launchpad for this ABAP instance alone. And if you look at this, these are all the performance tracking tools, application provided by SAP. And we can use all of these applications we are developing or using our ABAP instance on cloud very effectively. So if you see here, table analysis, if you have any tables created on our instance, we can use this application to monitor our tables performance and etc. And it gives us scanning all our across our ABAP instance, and it provides us how the applications are being used and what is the performance of the tables and etc. with a analytic representation here. Okay, so if you see here, let it come back. So it is still loading. So in this case, these are all the tables that have been created and exist in the shared ABAP instance. So this is not going to be a dedicated one. Please keep that in mind. So this is going to be a shared ABAP instance being shared across all the learners across the globe. Okay, so that analysis have been provided this manner for us. So if you see how the table, what kind of table it is and etc., all these information. Okay, so if we create our database table in our instance, obviously the to come here and from here. So you can always go into these information and we set it. And also some other tools here, but I leave it with you that these files available on this particular ABAP instance. But apart from that, if you click on this particular row, we will be taken into the additional page. And in this additional page, if you have any applications, it's gonna display our list of applications exist on this ABAP instance. And if there are no applications, that's fine. And here we see the service key. And this service key is a mandatory thing for each and every BTP service that available on BTP. If we want to connect this ABAP instance to any other development platform like Visual Studio or Business Application Studio or Eclipse, even Eclipse. So we need a service key to make a secured connection between these development tool and the BTP. And also, if you see for Business Application Studio, I think Business Application Studio is instance at the trial account level. But if you see Warehouse Lake, this is Data Lake. It is going to take us to the Data Lake. And default IRPA, you see there is one key exists for this one. So if we want to use this IRPA service, we should be having this key, and this key should be authenticated, will be authenticated with its respective development tool. But for now, let us go ahead and see where this is required. And if you see, there is no key exists for this one, but we are going to create one key for this. And I'm going to name this Thara ABAP key. And let me create one for this. And now it's going to create me the key that I was saying. I think I mentioned multiple times that JWT, Java JSON Web Token, and that is what this is going to create for us right now. So this JSON Web Token will have the endpoint information, client ID, client secret ID, and etc. A lot of information in this one. If you click on this view here, you will be shown with all those particular information here. And this is all required if we want to test something or connect something in the current digital world of application development, and also the testing platforms or REST testing, etc. And if you see here, the lot of information in the form of JSON. So tenant node, a URL, what the URL is going to be, and entity June, here client ID. And this is what again is going to be a unique ID generated for our instance. Okay, and the client secret, this is going to key that is going to whenever we use on web token UAE, that is authorization protocol, how also endpoint. So this is what our ABAP endpoint is. Okay, so and also the catalog used for data B2 services, and that is what has been mentioned here on. This is going to be different for each and every service that are available on BTP. So we don't need to worry much about it for now. So whenever we need it, OAuth 2 kind of authentication and etc., we will be needing to know, okay, so some information the authentication might be asking, and that information, whatever is required, they all have been listed down on your JWT token here. So let's close this one. Now, next step, what we are going to do is we are going to use our Eclipse for using this ABAP. So now let's go into Eclipse. Let me close all these tabs for now, and also minimize it. And in our create project, you know how to ABAP project, but we have an extension that in our project. So if you just click on your ABAP cloud project, it's going to ask you what is your ABAP environment service instance URL. So you could look for this ABAP service instance URL in your key that you have generated here. Okay, the service URL, what I think the service URL is going to be this one. And if you don't want to confuse yourself, that's fine. So going to SAP BTP environment service. So this is what we love to do it, because we have the JSON generated key for us, whereas we can straight away go ahead and use our JSON format token, and let's proceed. And here in this screen, you'll be asked to give this key that copy for Cloud Foundry, and then next, click on next, and this time it is going to authenticate with your Cloud Foundry. So that has been identified. Yes, there is something with that information for authentication. So here we have two options. You can copy this URL and open in your browser, or you can open your browser from here itself and you can get authenticated yourself. It will tell you, okay, you have been authenticated successfully, so that we can straight away close this tab and we can go back to our Eclipse. So let it come back, and this effectively requires your BTP credentials. So if you see successfully logged on, now I can close this one and I can go back to my Eclipse, whereas it moves on and creates a cloud project in my workspace. So this is what my system ID is going to be, and this is what my user ID. And if you see everything, email address to service instance URL, see, so everything has been fetched automatically from there. If you click on next, that's it. So it's going to create a project for us. If you want to rename it, we can rename Tara BTP ABAP. So finish. Perfect. So we have added our BTP ABAP instance onto our Eclipse. So now it's all in our hands. How we develop, how we implement CSU, etc. Now we are in the just setup of your Eclipse or ABAP cloud development. Now expand this one. You can go into the favorite packages. The favorite packages, as this is a shared ABAP instance. So all like BTP learning enthusiasts, they will be coming here and getting a lot of objects, and we will part of them and also to the group of people and etc. So this you can straight away go ahead and project, and you can create a new package for you if you like. So I'm creating a package for myself, and I'm naming it as Tara BTP ABAP BTP development. And this is always going to be the Z local super package. So let me click on next. Perfect. And I can create my transport. So we don't have an option to choose the local object. So here we go. So I have created my package. So now this package, what I'm going to do here. Okay. So and also have a structure like favorite packages, favorite objects, and release objects. And this is where we should be learning something new here. There are objects whenever you start working on your S4HANA Cloud, S4HANA Cloud, or SuccessFactors, or the SaaS-based solutions, they will be having specific release objects, because the entire product is delivered by SAP, and some of the objects will not be released for customer change. So in this, or whitelisted, we call them released object, are unreleased or not whitelisted APIs applicable for APIs. So APIs. Whatever we find under we are free to make use of them. they will be having meaningful or considerable amount of test data and etc. So if you look at, if you go ahead and look at them, you can make it. If you look at this data definition and all kind of dimensions in the master data kind of thing. So if you look at this, I currently of the CSV that I see here, and you can straight away go ahead and execute. So as we know how to navigate between these CDSU and things like that, so we don't see any big difference in this particular. So this environment is again convenient to create the RAP-based developments as well. So if you are passionate about developing, learning how the app and develop, etc., you can really go ahead and create for CDSU, and not only CDSU, so you can create your own libraries, and also database tables and etc. All of them without limit here. So what I'm thinking here, so I will take some time and I will replicate our tables that we created here. Want to pick up from here, we can straight away go ahead and get all the things onto here. And from here, we will be using our business, because this is accessible by the business application studio, and whereas not our system. And now this part is okay for now. So we know how we can configure our BTP environment, a BTP ABAP environment or instance onto our Eclipse. Now let me go to my BTP account back. Let me go and launch my business application studio. And in the business application studio, go into instances. Also, let me pick up my business application studio here. So go into business application studio. I think we have seen about this business application studio for a short time in our previous sessions, but this time we are going to create the real applications using our ABAP on cloud. So if you see, we have created this, but we are going to use it right now. So if you have not created any instance, then you click on create instance and you will see the type of instance that you need to pick up from here. So as we are going to develop our Fiori implementation, Fiori applications, we have created a Fiori relevant instance from here. And if you are picking up any cloud application programming, for example, CAP developments, so this is your option where you can straight away go ahead and implement your cloud application programming using Node.js and etc. Okay, and mobile applications. So these instances have to be a single instance, not going to be serving all our purpose. But if you want to create instances, you can create maximum 2 instances per account, but only one instance can run at a time. So you can create 2 instances and only one instance can run at it. So let me see if this is started. No, it is still starting. And another thing is here, the limitation. If you see this warning here, so you will have a 30 days of period. So if the instance is not started or using for 30 days, and after 30 days, this instance and the content inside this instance is completely removed. So that cannot be recovered. That's how the SAP designed for a trial usage of a business application studio. Okay, so let it come back, and meanwhile, let us go into the service marketplace, and we will see the instance that we are going to use a portal service here. So that is work zone, SAP build work zone. So this is what the launchpad service or cloud portal that has been renamed to build work zone station at the moment. And again, here we will be creating an instance because we will be deploying our applications onto BTP and registering using this build work zone here. So let me create the work zone here. So create. Now it's going to create an instance for us on BTP. So this is running, but let us see the instance creation of this work zone. Yes, the instance is created right now. And if you click on this, go to application, the Launchpad Designer, what we have seen from our on-premise system, you don't have required authorization. That's what it is saying. And let me go back. That happens whenever we create instances. That's absolutely fine. We go here, this, and I see my user here. Let me pick up my user and see the roles that I have. Assign role collection, business application studio, and I have a lot of roles have been added right now. Cloud connector. Let me, oh, I can add all of them. So if you see Launchpad admin, Launchpad advanced theming, Launchpad external user, all these roles. Okay, so these roles are relevant for the that we have created. So assign role collection, and I have my roles assigned at the moment. And also I would need to have this application studio administrator and all these roles because it may stop at some point when I wanted to develop the application. So I have assigned all the roles that are required for me, but in real time they are going to be restrictive. Administrator only will be having the admin access. That know that. So let me close this one. We'll go back to my instance subscriptions. And here I'll see my build work zone here. If you click on that one, it's right away going to come on. Nope, let me come back again. So SAP build work zone. Yep, this is what my user. We log in into this one. Okay. The success. So now we see. Come on. Perfect. So now we see we have launched our work zone instance, and this is saying the site manager, and here we can create multiple sites. That means whatever the launchpad we have on our backend system, so that's going to be only one launchpad. So if user wants to um, use any of the Fiori application, then the user has to log in using that particular launch. And we cannot create multiple launch pads if we have being on the on-premise system. But as a work zone, work zone here, we can create multiple sites. We can register. We can register the tiles on whichever the site we wanted, and the sites can be given to the group of people with the right access. And so it is more kind of the simplified mode of the whereas each site will have individual URL, and that the set of people or the group of people whoever having the access to the sites is only those sites, not all the. And here again, we will be having uh, option here, the content manager. Content manager, we will be having access to categorize or consider filters about these catalog and roles. So now we know the concept of catalogs, group, and roles. What role they play, and how we will be assigning this uh, uh, apps, and where we will be setting the apps, and where um, providing the access to the users, and how the rules are going to. So if you create all of that. Okay, and we will be working on this work zone anyway to um, enable the apps that we create using the Business Application Studio and ABAP instance on cloud, so that we will be understanding more on this one. Okay, so that's perfect. So now we have our Business Application Studio launched as well. So here we have options, more options. So start from template, here the application, you clone from Git, and files from folder, import if you have anything already available, then you can import the project completely. Or if you see you are developing any CAP applications, so they are all some of the. But from template, most of the time we will be using this from template, and in this from template we will be seeing a lot more advanced templates as well. So adaptation project, CAP project, query application, multi-target, HANA data project. Right? So query applications, each one having their own skill sets. So don't try to be accessing all these templates completely. Their skill itself is going to be Okay, so the Fiori applications, and as we know that CAP project is going to be having the Node.js requirement here, and also some of the DB knowledge as well, database SQL queries, native SQL queries, HANA capabilities into this CAP project. And this adaptation project, if we have any pre-delivered application and if you want to change any of the label and etc., and we will be using this adaptation project and just layer as the image has been shown. So whatever has been delivered and what um, changing is, and we will be delivering it back. And this SAP Fiori application is our category in our scope right now. So click on next, going to show us the available templates under the applications category. In that one, we will see the list report, overview page, analytical page, and etc. So if you see here Fiori elements, and if we don't want to do this Fiori elements and freestyle, then we have freestyle templates also available here. So what kind of template you are trying to build, it will just generate a template for you. If you choose the Fiori list detail application, then it will leave the further implementation with you. Just create a list and a detail, and on the detail you will be able to right away make changes. Not like list report templates doing something on manifest file and etc. But if you want to start with a plain application without any generated views or controls, etc., you can choose the application. But for now, if we go with the SAP Fiori elements, you see a nice templates, 6 templates available here: list report, work list page, analytical list page, overview page, form entry object page. So it is object page, but there will be a form inputs enabled in this one. And this custom page, again, is going to be the flexible. We can code this flexibly, but I haven't tried this custom page yet. Okay, so if you click on this list report page, we know what we are wanting to do at this place. So firstly, it will ask for the system selection, and in the system selection, if you see here, connect to your system. So if we have a free option of configuring or connecting to the OData services available on the internet, but we're not going to do that. So connect to your system, and in this case, what system we are going to connect. So we do not have any system configured under our destinations here. So if you see in our trial account under destination, this is where we configure all our systems. For example, if you want to connect to our backend system, the backend system information or connection details are going to be listed down here. So by clicking new destination, we will create our new destination here. But in our case, our system is a local server, and it doesn't have any internet visibility and IP. Right? That's the reason we're not able to finding this particular one. So instead, we are exploring the ABAP instance, and we got a way forward, and we will be using that ABAP instance by choosing system as ABAP environment on SAP Business Technology Platform. If you see, so whenever we generate or create an instance on this particular sub account, that one itself is going to create the destination destination services for each of the service, and that destination is automatically available on the Application Studio. So if you click on this one, now it's free for us to choose um, choose the choose the catalog that are available here. So that's fine. So I know the issue of this one. So whenever we choose this one, or whenever we come to Business Application Studio and try to use the web environment, then we need to be logged into the Cloud Foundry environment. That we are going into um, the settings button that are available right down left hand side, and we will use this command palette. And in the command palette, we say CF login. And if you see here, CF login to Cloud Foundry, and once you choose that one, it's going to ask your credentials. Let me log in myself. Yes, that's okay. And as soon as I log in, it's going to tell me that yes, I'm logged in. Okay, and now I need to select my organization. Sorry, organization. So it should give me the organization here. Okay, let me try to select my system here. So it has this feasibility, the wonderful feasibility for us to explore more on this BTP. So in this case, we might not definitely need a system. Okay. So this might be because possible that I do not have sufficient authorization. That is possible again. And let me go ahead with this one. Let me again choose the option connect to system. Okay, let me choose my ABAP. So it is still saying the same. So that's fine. So I'll fix this issue. So once we connect to this ABAP system, it will show us all the catalogs, or I mean, the OData service catalogs that are available in the ABAP instance that we created, and that's where we will be picking up our specific service. So far, we have developed any data project. So, but we are going to do data science, and you might be thinking about, okay, so if I publish this as a piece, then how how going to register gateway system. So that's not how we will be doing on that one. This will be the way of service service binding, so that figure to pick up these service catalog. So we will having any UI access using this one. Okay, so what we should remember, and whatever we all can be accessed using Studio. So only data service domain. And apart from that, we can classes, class libraries. We can create database tables. We can create tags, that one. Thing create a I'm not sure about that one on this particular cloud ABAP instance. Okay. So apart from that, goal for us to use this cloud instance as our practice to make use of the business application studio. So yeah, that's fine. So I'll make this ready to be develop our application event based on my deploy this to BTP and register on the work. So I'd like to